What's going on, Zionist Nation? I hope you enjoyed the song for Jonathan Netanyahu. We're still looking at the times of Israel here, so what do they want our opinion on? Starmer says Britain will ban under 16s from using a range of social media apps. Britain will ban under 16s from using a range of social media apps, Prime Minister Keir Starmer says, calling it a big moment for our country. Oh, that's right, we were going to go through the war room and comment on each one of them. Yeah, I forgot about that. I got too fucking frustrated by the directory because everybody wanted to be in a different spot from where they were. I said, we still don't feel bad for you. It's okay as long as they're allowed to see my website. They are not, and don't ask. Not in Britain. Lebanese media reports IDF drone strike, artillery fire in South. Trump calls Netanyahu a very difficult guy. Says attacks on Iran could resume if nuclear deal not reached. Trump says Netanyahu has no fucking judgment after Beirut strike. U.S. President says IDF shouldn't operate anywhere in Lebanon, reportedly leaving Israeli officials stunned as Washington tries to sweet-talk Iran out of retaliating. U.S. President Donald Trump lashed out at Israel on Sunday after the IDF struck a Hezbollah target in Beirut, angering Tehran and potentially risking the deal Washington is trying to finalize with the Islamic Republic, reportedly accusing... Stop talking now. Just go back to what you were doing. All right, we'll go back to what we were doing then. No, wait, we're going to keep doing this. The president also declared that the IDF should be prevented from carrying out any more attacks on any part of Lebanon moving forward, not just Beirut. The suggestion was said to raise concerns among Israeli officials that the prospective U.S.-Iran deal could sharply curb Israel's military freedom of action. This morning's attack on Beirut should not have happened, particularly on a special day when we are so close to a peace deal with Iran. Trump wrote on Truth Social. Oh, that was Trump, not a BBC broadcaster. Trump has reportedly declared that the deal with Iran will be signed on Sunday, despite Tehran indicating that it has not yet made a final decision as to whether to sign. Israel has the right to defend itself against threats, but the attack it was responding to was very small and meaningless. Nobody was hurt, injured, or killed, and should not disrupt this important process, Trump continued, suggesting that Israel overreacted by targeting Beirut in response to a Hezbollah attack on northern Israel. We are very close to a deal that will bring peace to the region, including to Lebanon, and all sides should stand down, he reiterated, adding, there should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon, but there should also be no more attacks by any other party, including Hezbollah, against Israel. The U.S. president notably suggested We'll just go back to what we were doing then. Sorry. Yeah, we have to be a little quieter or God will do something crazy with the slave. Talk. Josh. Talk. Josh. Don't fucking talk. God makes a lot of people, doesn't he? They do a lot of different things. All right, here we go. What are we doing now? We're looking at the directory. Oh, well, we could keep reading. Keep reading this.
The U.S. president notably suggested that the MOU with Iran would include guarantees that Israel stop its offensive across all of Lebanon, and not just Beirut, after Israeli officials signaled that they would only comply with refraining from targeting the capital, but would continue operations deep in southern Lebanon. This could be the beginning of a long and beautiful process of peace. Let's not blow it, he added. According to Channel 12, the primary concern within Israel's political and security establishment is that Washington could significantly curtail the IDF's freedom of action in Lebanon if the deal with Iran includes a complete halt to Israeli military activity throughout the country, not just in Beirut. The report added that Trump proposed during one of his recent conversations with Netanyahu that Israel withdraw physically from southern Lebanon as part of the broader understandings being discussed with Iran. Netanyahu reportedly rejected the idea outright, arguing that it would neither serve Israeli nor American interests. Trump reportedly took a more belligerent tone than he had on Truth Social in a phone call with Axios later on Sunday, revealing that he spoke to Netanyahu after the strike in Beirut and informed the Israeli premier that he has no fucking judgment. Why did Bibi have to do a fucking attack? Trump said. I was so pissed off. I let him know. He has no fucking judgment. I let him know that. The president told Axios that the deal with Iran would have already been signed if it were not for the strike on Beirut. It shook it up, he said. It delayed the signing by a few hours. It was supposed to be now. Now it is scheduled for a few hours from now. It is so bad, Trump continued. I couldn't believe it. An hour before we are supposed to sign the deal. There we go. Policemen walk in front of a banner of the Iranian flag in the Islamic Revolution Square in Tehran, Iran, June 14th, 2026. Like Trump, Iran has painted Israel's attack on Beirut as a threat to the emerging deal with Washington, with top negotiator and Parliament Speaker Mohammed Ghalibaf declaring it proof that the U.S. either lacks the will to fulfill its commitments or the ability to do so. Senior Iranian Parliament member Ibrahim Rezai similarly said the U.S. must discipline the Zionist regime if it wishes to make a deal, and compared Israel to a rabid dog that must be controlled. You have no fucking idea. What do you mean? They called us a rabid dog. They have no fucking idea how rabid we are. Don't fucking talk. Israeli officials reportedly reacted with alarm to Trump's comments and the intensity of his verbal attacks on Netanyahu, with a senior official close to the premier telling Channel 12 that they left Jerusalem stunned. Trump's statement is a resounding slap in the face. The restrictions on Israel have been taken to another level, the official said. The expectation that we will not strike anywhere in Lebanon is incompatible with the behavior of a strategic ally. I don't think Trump is serious. Yeah, this is very, it's very staged. Another official speaking to the Ynet news outlet accused the U.S. of trying to normalize firing at Israel. Not everyone agreed with Trump's approach in Washington either. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina took to X to urge the U.S. to put itself in Israel's shoes and understand who we are dealing with when negotiating with Iran and dealing with Hezbollah. Since the latest ceasefire, Hezbollah has been unrelenting in their attacks against Israel, to the point there are areas in northern Israel that have been evacuated because of the constant attacks, wrote Graham, a staunch ally of both Trump and Israel. What would America do in a similar situation? It was not clear what Graham was referring to, as no areas in northern Israel have been evacuated since fighting against Hezbollah renewed in March. Many communities have nevertheless shrunk significantly over the past 2 years, with many residents choosing not to return following the previous round of conflict that erupted in October 2023. Lindsey Graham said, "Well, I hope and pray that a diplomatic solution to end the Iranian conflict and deny Iran the ability to produce a nuclear weapon and stop the reign of terror on the region may be at hand, we must understand who we are dealing with. That's according to Lindsey Graham on X. According to Channel 12, officials in Washington spent the better part of Sunday afternoon pressing Israel not to escalate tensions with Iran, while promising to do everything possible to prevent Iranian attacks on Israel. The American message, according to the report, was that even if I'm so fucking sorry, I keep yawning. The American message, according to the report, was that even if Iran does strike, Israel should avoid any response that could jeopardize the MOU being negotiated between Washington and Tehran. Israel's political leadership has been briefed on the credible possibility of upcoming missile fire from Iran, perhaps before midnight, according to the report. In a bid to avoid this, the Israeli officials communicating with Washington said Trump had offered Iran a financial incentive to stand down from its threat to attack Israel. The sources said intensive negotiations were underway on the matter and offered two contradictory reports within 5 minutes of each other. First claiming Iran had rejected the financial incentive, then claiming it was still considering it. I keep yawning, man. I'm so fucking sorry. Iran gave no public signs of being swayed by U.S. sweet-talking, with the country's highest national security body warning that a response against Israel was imminent. Airspace over the Islamic Republic also appeared to have closed shortly before 10 p.m., according to flight traffic data. The country's semi-official Tasnim news agency announced that flights in the west of the country had been canceled until further notice in light of the current situation. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to have to watch what I said because I was having trouble concentrating on what I was reading while I read it. Anyway, I'm going to have to watch this video. We're already at 11 minutes, so I'm just going to post this and we're going to get back to talking about the war room. The war room. Yeah. The war room directory, who's on it, what's going on with that.